Okay, I felt like starting the ukulele banjo or the banjolele, and 6 days ago, on the 23rd of March 2017, this arrived. Now this is a Kmise or Kmise ukulele banjo. It was up for £83. I offered 75. They came back with another offer of 54. Suddenly they had discounted this to £54, and they kindly gave it to me at the £54. This was being sold in the UK and came within 2 days. Obviously, I think now you have to get them from China. They must have had a few in the UK and they wanted to get rid of the last one, and I just happened to get it, I suppose, at 54 quid. Anyway, you can still buy this at £54, but it comes from China. So the reason why I bought it was because I was looking around for ukulele banjos on eBay, looking at second-hand ones, and looking at the write-ups of different things, and you know, there were sort of faults with a lot of the ones that were up to about £100 and £120, which is, I didn't really want to pay much more than that to start off with, to see whether I liked it or whether I could play it. Now, I've never had a ukulele banjo. I can't play it. I can play C, A minor, F and G, so you can hear the difference between this and another one. I play bluegrass banjo and I play guitar for a long time, so my fingers, you know, I can do chords, so these chords are different, but it's easier for me, I suppose. Anyway, the ukulele itself, is it worth buying it? And I'd say definitely. This is not a cheap and nasty instrument at all. It's excellent for the value. For £83, if you pay £83, it is superb. There's a lot like this, by the way. They all look the same, except they probably got a different name. So you could pay 83 or 54 from China and pay up to £180 I've seen these things for, exactly the same. So be careful, get the cheapest one you can. They're all the same, they're all made exactly the same. Quality wise, build quality is superb. It feels like a solid instrument, it feels like a real quality instrument, and looks it as well. It looks good. It's got closed gear tuners. It comes with a decent high bridge, and the best thing, inside here is 6 screws. Take the screws off. Inside there's a metal torsion rod. There's 2 bolts at the back. Undo the 2 bolts, undo the torsion rod a little bit, just loosen it off, and there's another screw which you can unscrew a little bit on the neck behind here, and you can adjust it. You can push it up. Now, I pushed mine up 1/4 of an inch and brought the action very low, so it is adjustable. Excellent. I just couldn't believe it when I found that inside. I just thought, wow, because I didn't expect it to have that. But it is a high quality thing. Now, what's this a copy of? Well, it's a copy of this. This is a Gibson UB-2. These were made around sort of late 1920s. This one was anyway, as they started making them. And this is a sort of a classic Gibson ukulele banjo. George Formby had one. And what's the difference? Well, weight wise, this is just over 1.1 kilograms. This is just over 1.2 kilograms. So there's an apple in it, the weight of an apple roughly. So they're both pretty good. Well, this one's pretty good compared with this. Now, the resonator on this is closed. This is open. So this is slightly louder than this, but it would be no difficulty getting spacers to go in here because the screws are quite long. So you could cut some spacers to go in there and open the back up just like this. No problem at all. The neck is slightly shorter in the Gibson, which means that the frets are closer together. The neck is also slightly narrower, which means that when you're starting to learn to play, it's going to be more difficult to play this because your fingers are going to be much closer together. I find it, I've only had this 6 days, but when I play this and this is easier for me to play at the moment. So, this is what it sounds like with C, A minor, F and G. I'm not going to do the George Formby thumb drag. I have been practicing it for 6 days, ever since I got this. I can do it, but I'm not going to bother, because I'll just get laughed at by you ukulele players. But if you've got somebody that wants to start, this is superb. Okay? Difference is the sound. Let's have a look. This is I'd say a thinner sound, a tinnier sound than the Kmise. It's sharper, louder, but you can hear when you pluck the strings that a lot of the sound is coming out of the gap between this resonator. And I think that if you did the same thing with this, you'd end up with a louder instrument, but I don't particularly want a loud instrument. And what do you need nowadays? You can stick a pickup on here and amplify it if you wanted to get louder. So all in all, no one else has really done a review on this, or others that are the same as this. In fact, there is a different one, something like a Milani, and that has a torsion bar that goes through the neck, and I think they're about 129. And you've got a neck adjuster here, a little plastic plate, and it's got a torsion bar through the neck. So that one is about £129 with a case, I think, but with a soft case anyway. The soft case for this I bought extra, and it's here. It fits it perfectly, quite nice. This was a tenner off Amazon, by the way, with a Kmise on it, but you don't have to. You can buy one for £7. It'll fit this. Anyway, that's it. That's my review of this thing. I had to do this review because I didn't think it was fair on Kmise not to have someone say how good this was. Really good. It's impressive, very impressive, especially when you compare it to the UB-2. Thanks a lot.